Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on Edward III and we get to hear from Warwick today. Warwick being the father of the Countess of Salisbury, who Edward III has a crush on and wants to get with. But she turned him down. He was trying to woo her with some beautiful poetry, but it didn't turn out to be beautiful poetry because Lodovick apparently has never been in love. But then Edward was talking to the Countess of Salisbury just a little smidge earlier in this scene, and he's like, you know what would make me happy is if you denounce your husband and I'll denounce my wife and we can be together. He may not have gone that far, but he was like, just tell me that you love me and that you're dedicated to me. And she said, actually, no, I can't, because you're married and I'm married, and the oaths that we made to God for the sacrament of marriage are stronger than the oath of office that you took when you became king. So I'm saying no to the weirdness of the situation. I'm not saying no to you, specifically the king. I'm saying no to the weirdness of the situation. And then she left, and the king was very upset about this because he found her even more attractive for what she had just said. But then Warwick came in, and the king is like, aha, that's her dad. I'll make him help me out here. So the king and Warwick just had a little bit of a conversation back and forth where Warwick was like, why do you look so sad? And the king's like, well, if I can't tell you why I'm so sad because you're not going to like it. You're not going to want to help once you know what it is. And Warwick, wanting to be the dutiful one, keeps saying, no, just tell me what it is. Just tell me what it is. And the king is finally like, well, okay, fine. You wanted to know? I want your daughter. So you're going to go and make her love me and make her turn her husband down so that she can be with me instead. You like that? You like that? And then the king leaves, and Warwick has a moment on the stage by himself wherein he says, oh, doting king. Oh, detestable office. Well may I tempt myself to wrong myself when he hath sworn me by the name of God to break a vow made by the name of God. What, if I swear by this right hand of mine to cut this right hand off? The better way were to profane the idol than confound it. But neither will I do. I'll keep mine oath. And to my daughter make a recantation of all the virtue I have preached to her. I'll say she must forget her husband Salisbury if she remember to embrace the king. I'll say an oath may easily be broken, but not so easily pardoned being broken. I'll say it is true charity to love, but not true love to be so charitable. I'll say his greatness may bear out the shame, but not his kingdom can buy out the sin. I'll say, it is my duty to persuade, but not her honesty to give consent. See where she comes. Was never father had against his child an embassage so bad. So Warwick hates the predicament that he's in. He's like, I'm sworn both to God and to this man who gave me this office that supposedly came to God. So how am I supposed to break one oath to fulfill another oath when both of them mean I'm breaking an oath to God, essentially, is what it boils down to. He's like, yeah, I might as well, use my right hand to swear that I'm going to cut off my right hand to show my fealty. He's like, this makes no sense. But he decides that what he's going to do is actually be sort of forthcoming about it. He's going to tell her that he has to say these things on behalf of the king at the same time that he's going to remind her of her honest, true Christian upbringing that has these morals that go along with it. So I think my favorite one of the ones that he comes out with is, I'll say it's true charity to love, but not true love to be so charitable. He's viewing her loving the king or being with the king as doing the king a favor, essentially, and saying, it doesn't have to go that way. You don't have to look upon him so favorably that you give up everything that you are and everything that you stand for and all of your previous oaths. and then the Countess walks in and he's like, oh, here she comes. And man, this is going to be really a terrible conversation. And the Countess of Salisbury enters and she's like, Dad, where have you been? We've been looking all over for you. Mom and I want you to make sure that you stay by the king because he's kind of unhappy lately. And we need you to stay with him so that he is happier or stays content. And Warwick is now going to have a confession. And it's going to be a real long monologue. So we will see you tomorrow for that. Mwah.